Brent crude prices falls by more than 2% after Iran agrees on nuclear deal. Commerce and Industry Minister Anand Sharma says a deal will bring stability in the region. Equity markets too cheer the Iran nuclear deal. Sensex gains a whopping 388 points. Nifty gains 120 points to end above the crucial 6,100 levels. Stocks of oil marketing firms surged by 7%. President Pranab Mukherjee inaugurates Diamond Jubilee celebrations of Coir Board, compliments the industry for playing a very big role in providing employment opportunities to rural women. And Destination India, the global survey by consultancy firm Ernst & Young ranks India as the most attractive investment destination, beats China. Hello and welcome to Business Wrap. I am Sidhant Sibal. First, the top stories. It was a blockbuster day for the markets, rupee and the crude after Iran nuclear deal. Iran and 6 world powers clinched a deal yesterday, curbing the Iranian nuclear program in exchange for initial sanction relief. This could be a game changer for the region and also possibly ease the risk of wider Middle East war. Meanwhile, here in India, stocks of oil marketing firms surged as much as 7% after Brent crude prices fell following the historic nuclear deal. Hopes of drop in import bill after crude oil prices fell in overseas markets fueled buying in oil stocks. Here's a wrap-up of how the crude fared throughout the day.
Oil prices have fallen after Iran agreed a deal to curb some of its nuclear activities in return for easing of international sanctions against it. Iran holds the world's 4th largest oil reserves, but its exports have been hurt by the tough sanctions. Though Iran will not be allowed to increase its oil sales for 6 months, the deal has eased tensions in the Middle East, a key oil-producing area. Brent crude fell more than 2% in early Asian trade on Monday. It dropped by $2.42 to $108.63 per barrel, while U.S. light sweet crude fell 84% to $93.64 per barrel.
My sense is that this agreement would also have a bearing on the price of oil. India would be able to resume its imports from Iran, which will be a significant boost for India's energy security.
In an attempt to force Tehran to curb its program, the US and other leading economies have imposed a series of tough sanctions aimed at Iran's oil exports, a key driver of its economy. In November 2011, Washington threatened to cut off from the US financial system foreign financial institutions that conducted oil transactions with Iran's central bank. That prompted several countries, including China, Japan, India and South Korea, some of the biggest buyers of Iranian oil, to cut the imports. While the deal has raised hopes of a long-term agreement that may allow Iran to eventually increase its oil sales, some analysts said that oil prices were unlikely to see further declines. But all in all, the deal is a positive news for India. India imports around 3/4 of its oil needs, and a reduction in crude prices will help bring down the massive subsidy bill the government has to foot to finance sales at regulated prices. Business Desk, TD News.
Meanwhile, reacting to the Iran nuclear deal, Commerce and Industry Minister Anand Sharma said it would bring more trust and stability in the region. He also added that economic engagement with Iran has huge potential to grow. India's total exports to Iran was merely $3.7 billion in financial year 2012-13, which many believe was less than potential.
We are happy that there has been a breakthrough, and we would like to compliment all those who were engaged in the negotiations, and I'm sure that this will bring more trust and stability in the region. And as far as economic engagement with Iran is concerned, it has been there, it has huge potential to grow manifold, and we will be seriously taking all those measures which can improve our trade with Iran.
Industry body ASSOCHAM has also welcomed the deal, saying that the deal between Iran and 6 major powers of the world is a big positive for most of the developing nations, especially those import crude oil like India. It said that it will not only reduce India's import bill, but will also make a big difference to inflation, which has been a bane for the Indian economy for last 6 years. On to the market action, it was clearly Iran effect on the markets. Also, the market sizzled as crude dropped after Iran nuclear accord. Thus, trading for the week began on an upbeat note. Sensex gained a whopping 388 points to end at 20,605 levels, while the Nifty gained 120 points to end at 6,115 levels, clearly above that psychological 6,100 levels. The market breadth indicating the overall health of the market was positive. Bank stocks rose across the board. Capital goods stocks surged. Top gainers on the markets were BHEL, ICICI Bank, L&T, ONGC and SBI, which were up by between 5 to 3%. Top losers on the markets were just 3 losers: Infosys, NTPC and Dr. Reddy's Lab, which were down by about 2%. But don't be euphoric yet. The markets may remain volatile this week as traders roll their positions before the FNO segments. The November 2013 derivative contract also expires on Thursday, that's 28th November 2013. On to global market action, European stocks rose on Monday as Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program, and also investors awaited a report on US pending home sales. Key benchmark indices in France, Germany and UK were up by between 0.44% to 0.09%. On to the Asian markets, the Iranian effect also kept the Asian markets up. The Asian stocks rose on Monday as Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program. Key benchmark indices in Taiwan, Indonesia, Japan, Singapore and South Korea rose by between 0.25% to 1.54%. On to rupee, the rupee soared 37 paise to end at 62.50 versus the US dollar. The domestic currency opened at 62.67 per dollar against Friday's close of 62.87 at the interbank foreign exchange. Well, the Sensex gained about 388 points. Also, the rupee gained 30 paise up. Here are the 5 main reasons for the good news from the markets. The first is the fall in crude prices. Brent crude prices fell over $2 per barrel as supply fear eased following the Iran-West nuclear deal. The second is the Ernst & Young report. According to the report, India is the most attractive investment destination. Third is QE concerns. Many believe that the quantitative easing has been pushed to next year. Though there is no clear verdict on this, the dovish statement from the incoming Fed chief Janet Yellen and the not so strong economic data from the US makes experts believe that tapering has been deferred for next year. Fourth is political. The markets are expecting a favorable verdict from the assembly elections, which is seen as a prelude to the general polls scheduled in 2014. Last and the final is that rupee and dollar equation. The rupee has more or less stabilized at 62 versus the US dollar. Time for a short break, but after the break, we will tell you why India is the top destination for investment and also what the president said about the coal industry.
ये इंडिया है भाई, यहाँ एक भाषा से काम नहीं चलता, दिमाग की भाषा है एक.
Sir, that presentation, your idea, sir. Brilliant, sir.
Good.
Very good.
Tomorrow morning, on my table.
और दिल की कुछ और.
लग गई भाई, रात काली होगी.
सर लाइट तो वहाँ से बंद कर देना.
हट चल.
इसीलिए सैमसंग लाया है स्मार्टफोन की दुनिया और ढेर सारे एप्स हमारे दिल की भाषा में.
अरे सुन तो.
मुझे क्या सुनाना चाहते हो? जो सुनाओ मेरी सौतन को.
किसको?
अरे वही तुम्हारा मोबाइल फोन जिससे सुबह शाम दिन रात चिपके रहते थे और कहते थे किसान कॉल सेंटर से बातें हो रही हैं.
अच्छा ये बात है.
हाँ क्यों, क्या हुआ? अब बात नहीं होती क्या?
अब तो झट से बात हो जाती है.
ऐसा क्या?
हाँ, अब तो ज्यादा लाइनें और खास तकनीक के कारण खेती के माहिरों से तुरंत बात हो जाती है. और अगर कभी लाइन व्यस्त हो तो अपनी समस्या फोन पर रिकॉर्ड करा दो, वहाँ से फोन आ जाता है और समस्या की हल का मैसेज भी आ जाता है. ये देखो आ गया.
अरे वाह, इसका मतलब इंतजार की घड़ी अब खत्म.
हाँ.
तभी मैं सोचूं कि आजकल मुझ पर इतना प्यार क्यों आ रहा है।
कृषि संबंधी समस्याओं का अपनी भाषा में तुरंत हल पाने के लिए पूरे भारत में किसी भी फोन से हेल्पलाइन नंबर पर संपर्क करें। किसानों का दोस्त किसान कॉल सेंटर।
एक तरफ कोई देश की इज्जत के लिए जान दे रहा है, तो दूसरी तरफ कोई देश की इज्जत को नीलाम कर रहा है। एक तरफ कोई हमारी संस्कृति की परवरिश कर रहा है, तो दूसरी तरफ कोई उस संस्कृति का अपमान कर रहा है। एक तरफ कोई इस देश के नाम पर कालिख लगा रहा है, तो दूसरी तरफ कोई मेहनत और ईमानदारी से उसी नाम को संवार रहा है। आप किस तरफ हैं? देश का सर झुकाने की तरफ या फक्र से उसे उठाने की तरफ? गर्व कीजिए अपने भारतीय होने पर। टेक प्राइड इन बीइंग एन इंडियन।
Hi, welcome back. India is at the top of the list of the most attractive investment destinations, beating China according to Ernst & Young's 9th biannual Capital Confidence Barometer. The firm attributed sharp currency depreciation and opening up of a foreign direct investment in various sectors as reasons for foreign investors' attraction to India. In August, the government announced a relaxation in foreign direct investment norms in many sectors, including multi-brand retail and telecom.
With relaxation in FDI norms to boost investors' sentiments, India has emerged as the most attractive investment destination, surpassing neighboring China and the US. The global survey of leading consultancy firm Ernst & Young (EY) has ranked India as the most attractive investment destination, followed by Brazil and China at second and third positions. While Canada has cornered fourth spot, the US is placed at fifth position. Other nations in the top 10 are South Africa 6, Vietnam 7, Myanmar 8, Mexico 9 and Indonesia 10. When it comes to investments, the US, France and Japan have emerged as top 3 investors likely to invest in India. As per the government statistics relating to foreign direct investments (FDI) over the past years, these 3 countries were among the top 10 investing countries in India. Weak rupee and relaxation in FDI norm has given a boost to India's ranking. The findings are a part of EY's latest Capital Confidence Barometer report based on a survey of about 1,600 senior executives from large companies across 7 countries. It aims to gauge corporate confidence in the economic outlook and understand boardroom priorities, among others. The last couple of months have seen foreign brokerages increasing their weightage on India as they expect economy to revive post-general elections. Business Desk, TD News.
President Pranab Mukherjee today inaugurated Coir Board Jubilee celebrations in New Delhi. Addressing the gathering, he said that the coir industry has played a big role in providing employment opportunities to rural women and commended the industry for sustaining itself all through the global recession since 2008. Coir industry is one of the oldest traditional industries. It generates value literally out of waste, which is coconut husk. The Coir Board has targeted revenues of about 2,000 crore rupees in fiscal year 2013-14. MSME Minister K.H. Muniappa, Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Professor P.J. Kurian and MOS Human Resource Development Shashi Tharoor were also present on the occasion.
Evidence all over the world that small and medium enterprises is playing a significant role in economic development of any country. The sector provides majority of new jobs, produces much of the creativity and innovation and adds to foreign exchange reserve, which fuels economic growth. The coir industry is one such sector that is amongst the foremost foreign exchange earning industries of the country. It has the potential to provide employment at low investment per job. It gives hope to a large number of persons from socially and economically weaker sections of the society who depend on this sector. Not only this, the coir industry is also working towards the empowerment of women. Mahila Coir Yojana is the first women-oriented self-employment program in the coir industry, which aims at providing self-employment to rural women artisans in regions producing coir fiber.
The continuation of the contribution of coir, particularly for generating employment, especially amongst the women in the rural areas, are very substantial.
With time, the industry has evolved in a remarkable way in terms of quality improvement. Technological upgradation and better market promotion of the product is increasingly making a footing among young generation.
In this year, 1,116 crores export is there. With the more support from the budgetary from the Honorable Finance Minister, a small organization with a small investment give more employment and more export.
In India, about 7 lakh people are directly or indirectly engaged in coir industry under more than 1,000 small-scale producers. Salve Chaudhary, DT News.
Time for a short break. After the break, more business stories from across the world.
सुनो घंटी बजी स्कूल की, चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। पल 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 रोशनी जो मिली स्कूल की, जगमगाओगे तुम बन के तारे।
सुनो घंटी बजी स्कूल की, चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। पल 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 रोशनी जो मिली स्कूल की, जगमगाओगे तुम बन के तारे।
कॉपी और किताबें सारी
स्कूल देगा, स्कूल देगा,
यूनिफॉर्म भी तुम्हारी।
स्कूल देगा, स्कूल देगा।
स्कूल अब घर से दूर नहीं है,
कम हो गए फासले,
पहुंचोगे स्कूल के गेट पर तुम।
थोड़ा सा भी जो चले,
प्यार और नरमी से तुमको पढ़ाएंगे, टीचर है ऐसे भले।
सच 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 प्रीत अब है यही स्कूल की, कभी टीचर ना बच्चों को मारे। सुनो घंटी बजी स्कूल की, चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। लाइब्रेरी में जो पढ़ना हो,
स्कूल देगा, स्कूल देगा,
दोपहर में खाना भी लो,
और स्कूल देगा, स्कूल देगा। पढ़ना भी है और है खेलना भी है, दोनों बातें यहाँ।
ध्यान उनका भी पूरा रखा गया है, ये जान ले लड़कियां।
वो जो पढ़ेगी, जो आगे बढ़ेगी, तो बदलेगा हिंदुस्तान।
घर 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 शिक्षा जब पहुंचेगी स्कूल की, शक्ति पाएंगे निर्बल भी सारे। सुनो घंटी बजी स्कूल की, चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे। चलो स्कूल तुमको पुकारे।
शिक्षा मेरा अधिकार है।
Welcome back. Now more business news of the day. CBI has registered a case against a deputy managing director of State Bank of India, a former AGM of the bank and a businessman for alleged graft in disbursing loan of above 100 crore rupees. The State Bank of India has ordered an internal inquiry. Salt to software Tata Group's combined turnover has slipped below 100 billion US dollar mark due to the fall in rupee. Last year, Tata's became the country's first and only business house to cross the turnover of $100 billion. India can't afford to emulate China, and the country has to develop a sustainable economic prosperity with different states evolving their own growth path. According to Mahindra Group chairman Anand Mahindra, he noted India can weave together an urban web that is equivalent of 1,000 Singapores. $25 billion US have been received from a special concessional swap window for deposits by non-resident Indians and overseas foreign currency borrowings by banks. The Reserve Bank announced the swap window for FCNRB deposits and overseas borrowing by banks on September 4th. The facility is open till November 30th. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren, addressing a seminar in capital on investment opportunities in the state of Jharkhand, urged the investors and industrialists to invest in the state and assured them of all assistance by the state. The Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council has said that exports of gold jewellery from India fell 6.9% in October. India has announced a number of measures to reduce its current account deficit, including measures to restrict gold imports. Air Asia likely to get a permit in January. Air Asia India is likely to secure a scheduled air operator's permit in January after officials from the DGCA visited the company's training center in Malaysia to certify operations. FIPB is to take up Vodafone's 10,141 crore rupees proposal on December 6. The British telecom major plans to acquire the remaining stake in its Indian arm. The UK-based telecom major holds 64.38% stake in the Indian unit. Work on the Siberia leg of the Gazprom South Stream gas pipeline has begun. The project, many believe, that will tighten Russia's grip on Balkan energy supplies and provide an alternative to the troublesome route via Ukraine. The planned pipeline will transport some 63 billion cubic meters of gas per year through the Black Sea, Bulgaria, Serbia, Hungary and Slovenia into Italy starting 2016-17. Indonesia's Mount Sinabung continues to throw volcanic materials into air. The Indonesian government has raised alert over it. Indonesia is lying on the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire with nearly 130 active volcanoes, more than any other country. A comet is heading for a close encounter with the sun later this month, and if it is not vaporized or torn apart, it will be visible to naked eye in December. The comet was discovered in September 2012 by two amateur astronomers using Russia's International Scientific Optical Network, or ISON, for which the comet is named. On to more international news. Qatar has been seen as an influential player in Arab world. It has been a key economic player too. And as Qatar tries to shake off allegations that workers building its World Cup infrastructure are being abused, a festival celebrating the maritime culture of Doha presents a gentler and more traditional face of the Gulf nation.
The world, it surely hasn't forgotten its past. 100 traditional doves gathering to celebrate an ancient maritime culture. Traveling across from the Gulf, Iran and India, among the vessels are unique boats including the imposing Baghala and the Batil fishing vessel.
This used to carry goods, lemons, dates, coal, wood from Oman to Dubai and then to Bahrain, the Iranian coast, to Zanzibar and Oman.
For its organizers, it's a picturesque reminder that even as Qatar strives to modernize, it should cherish its past.
We preserve the heritage, part of the memory for our children to know what their parents and grandparents did, how they lived and how difficult life was.
Doha, the capital, was once a fishing village. Today, it's a hub of an oil-rich nation with a per capita income that comes close to the top of the global league. And in another 9 years, the host for the 2022 Football World Cup. Earlier this week, Amnesty International said workers building the infrastructure for the football bonanza were suffering abuse at the hands of their employers. Qatari authorities responded with a promise that basic welfare standards will be guaranteed. Here, though it's an image of an older, less complicated way of doing things and songs of a seafaring life that lives on in the memory for now at least. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, time for repeat headlines. Brent crude prices fall by more than 2% after Iran agrees on nuclear deal. Commerce and Industry Minister Anand Sharma says deal will bring stability in the region. Equity markets too share the Iran nuclear deal. Sensex gains a whopping 388 points. Nifty gains 120 points to end above the crucial 6,100 level. Stocks of all marketing firms surged by 7%. President Pranab Mukherjee inaugurates Diamond Jubilee celebrations of Choir Board, compliments the industry for playing a very big role in providing employment opportunities to rural women. And Destination India, the global survey by consultancy firm Ernst & Young ranks India as the most attractive investment destination, beats China. Well, that's all in this edition of Business Wrap. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.